This is CoTCast episode 28, recorded on Thursday, June 25th, 2009.
Hi, this is Brent Copeland.
I'm Wes Wilson.
I'm Eric Fullerton.
And I'm Spencer Williams from the Warp Podcast, and you are listening to CoTCast.
A companion podcast for Circle of Trust, a Warhammer Online guild fighting for order on Phoenix Throne. This is CoTCast.
Hello, this is Zelly, and you are listening to CoTCast. We were Circle of Trust, a Warhammer Online guild, and this was our podcast on all that concerns us. Hosting today is Ab.
Hey.
And we have Slurm.
Yo.
And Maeve.
Hello.
And myself. I already said me. What you drinking, Ab?
I'm drinking Corona.
Are you really?
Corona Light. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Trying to watch the weight. Yeah.
You got a lime in that?
No.
No, you half-assed it, didn't you?
No. Yeah. I added lime juice.
All right. You're going over your allotted time. Slurm, what you got?
You could probably assume the usual, the amaretto sour.
Awesome. Maeve?
I have a nice, refreshing ice-cold water with lime.
That is fantastic.
Now, real lime or lime juice like I squirted in my Corona?
I have real lime.
Ah, you bitch.
No fake lime for me.
She'll fuck you up.
I'm enjoying a refreshing Diet 7-Up.
Hot damn.
I know.
So that would be artificial lime.
It's a lime theme.
Lemon. I think it's lemon lime.
This episode is sponsored by lime.
Is there
Lime Council.
Is there lime in whiskey sours? Amaretto sours, I mean.
It's just like a sweet and sour mix, but yeah.
It kind of has lime then.
Yeah, it's got lime.
That's
Yeah.
lime as much as my 7-Up.
You need a
Confirmed.
slice of lime in that crap.
Limes for everybody.
Lime's all around.
You limey bastards.
Oh, you've been hanging around Jay too much.
I know.
What's all this then? I just say that in Ven every once in a while.
He does. And one time, like, everyone kind of chimed in with it.
Yeah. It was funny.
You know what they call a whatchamacallit candy bar over in England?
What? Well, they don't call
What's all this then?
That makes sense. That was a whatchamacallit.
Did you just think of that?
A while back I did.
Oh, that was
So
pretty
jealous.
good.
I'm
That
so
was
jealous.
awesome.
I was eating one day, and there's an English guy that works with us, and I was like, I was like, over where you came from, did they call these what's all this then?
Let me know. Did you eat like half the candy bar just staring at him, like thinking? Just silence with you staring at him while chewing.
My eyes slowly squinted.
Oh god.
Also brought to you by whatchamacallits. All right. We have a different kind of show today. It's instead of doing the what you been doing, I mean, we're going to kind of do that, but we kind of have to explain the weird intro. This will be our last CoTCast, but you can still catch us on our new podcast. The reason we have to shut down the CoTCast is because Circle of Trust has disbanded in Warhammer. There's still a few of us playing Warhammer, so we're still gonna podcast and we're still gonna talk about Warhammer, but we're still gonna talk about like other stuff too. On the last one that didn't air, we actually didn't talk about Warhammer too much. We ended up talking about a lot of other games, and it kind of sparked this idea that, you know, we're kind of pigeonholed in the CoTCast because it's a Warhammer focused. You know, it's about the adventures of Circle of Trust and Warhammer. So we decided we did start wanting to talk about some other things. So Slurm came up with the brilliant idea of blogging together. And Slurm, do you want to talk about that? Because it's kind of your thing. Like, it's you started, but...
Oh, sure. Yeah, it was just one day on the forums I was going back and forth that a lot of people were interested in blogging, but nobody really had the time to put it together. They didn't think that they could keep it up. A lot of people were just worried about making consistent posts, so I was just like, hey, I could I figured I could throw a blog together. Everybody could just jointly hop into it and write as they find time. And with that many people writing, we wouldn't have any problem keeping posts up. And actually, since we started it, I think we've missed like one day. There's been one day that we skipped a post, but yeah, everybody's really been contributing real well. It's actually, might as well feed it in here, multiplaying.net. multiplaying.net.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Yeah, and also, like, half of our officers and leaders quit Warhammer the same week, which left our guild in a weird position because the other half are so busy with real life priorities. They're only able to get into game like once a week, once every 2 weeks, and so that kind of left me logging in. But I'm not. I'm more of like the like the organizer. I don't really do like raids and stuff like that. So
You're not good at that.
no, I'm terrible at stuff like that. So I'm like, well, I can't do this. So we kind of made this decision that those of us left in Circle of Trust, I talked to Kess, he runs Children of the New Sun, and thankfully, like, they were our Alliance guild back in our Dark Age of Camelot days, and they're on the same server as us now, and he was insane enough to take us in. And it's been going really good.
Yeah, and then that's probably the only like guild over the years that we probably could have done that with, just because we've known them since our alliance in DAOC, and then a bunch of us COTers played with them in their guild in City of Heroes because we didn't do a Circle of Trust there, and they're about as perfect of a fit to do that with as we could have found.
They're a little classier than us.
Yeah, they are. They're not. Yeah, we have to watch our humor a little bit. Not that they get
too
weird.
much,
No,
but
they've never gotten weird, but just it's one of those reading the room things.
It's one of those things where, like, some people used to make me blush. That doesn't happen as often now, and that's okay.
What, is Carr not logging in?
Carr is like,
he hasn't been on
he
yet.
has been working.
Thank God.
Like, he's one. If we can get through this whole like initiation phase, we'll be like, oh, we don't know where he came from.
Oh, but Carr knows Cass, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that was the same thing. We had like maybe 7, 8 new people at the same time, so we had a healthy population, but they were all new, and it was like, well, they all joined a casual guild. They didn't come here to have like leadership shoved at them. So this is a perfect fit. Everyone's having a really great time. Even Children of the New Sun people are saying that, when we're in game, that it's, the activity's really great. And I don't know. You guys were over in Tier 4 stuff, and you actually didn't want to log off the other night, which is...
It's the first time in a long time. Tier 4 that I've had, that. And we got in, we took a bunch of keeps. I got an Annihilator chest piece. I got another purple bag drop. I got a purple bow yesterday in Land of the Dead with just the COTNS guild warband. It's been a lot of fun.
That's great.
I think it was Kine who was saying, he loved the Circle of Trust time that he was in. He's only in for less than a month, but he said, the nice thing here versus COT is, we were all so spread out in COTs. Like, there was a lot of people on a given night, but people didn't enjoy Tier 4, and
we're still soloing because
So he said that it's cool that there's a group now of us that are enjoying Tier 4, and it's going really well so far. Nothing drastically in Tier 4 in the game has changed. So I mean, it's I'm enjoying it for now, and no, I wasn't going to quit before, but I wasn't going to really do Tier 4 stuff before. But now every night I've logged on in the last week, I've been playing my Shadow Warrior, and I've gotten 2 levels, and I'm almost 38, so I'm getting close to 40. And I've been doing that, really not doing any soloing. Just as soon as I get on, hey, we're doing this, or with Land of the Dead, it's really thrown things up in that we're orders out there taking keeps and doing stuff, and it's like the parents are out of town and we're just partying. Like, Destruction's busy doing stuff, but when we run into them, and the Alliance has a lot to do with it, because the Alliance is so massive and really does communicate with each other. That we really, anytime I'm out there, we usually roll Destruction, and or it was close. It's not like kind of before where you kind of, where we were kind of, oh, well, I'm going to go to tier 4 and, oh, I can't really get in anything. And now I got caught in a sandwich between a big fight and dead. There's a lot more purpose, it seems like right now.
Now as a person that's not been in and played Land of the Dead since the release this week, how has it moved back and forth yet?
They had it the first day, and we've already had it.
Yeah, Destruction had it locked down 2 days ago because they won the early start, of course, and then we opened it up. I was there when we opened it up yesterday. We were in a guild war band, and we locked. We helped with the alliance and everyone else lock a whole bunch of stuff down and open up access and win. And then I went on today, and we had it, and then Destruction had taken it, about an hour ago. So it seems we've had a fair shot at it. And there have been some really good battles there just because there was so much Destruction just waiting, for us once it flipped that, the way it seemed, and, Destruction had it, and then you can see the little meter going, and Order was already on top, so it kind of seems like it's going to be the way they designed it. I don't know how it's really going to play out, but it kind of seems geared towards taking turns. So, I guess we'll see how that works out. Probably a good thing, considering there's only two sides that you have to kind of take turns. You have to design it that way, but we'll see. But it seems like it should be fairly even.
That's cool.
It's like, yeah, this is the first time since switching to Order I actually want to get to tier 4.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully that lasts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's only been a week, but that's
I know. I don't want to make too thing out of it, but
it's been really fun.
But yeah, and you've just been listening to us invent.
Thanks,
yeah.
Maeve and Slurms. Thanks for quitting.
Thanks, Taz, all you other losers. Hey, Taz, how is Overlord too? No, I'm kidding.
Thank you, Lyra.
How's that prototype? Still playing that? No, just kidding.
It's been great. So anyway, so what have you guys been doing?
Go, Maeve.
Well, I've been playing the Evil Empire World of Warcraft.
Slurm, what have you been doing?
Where are you playing, Maeve?
I am playing on Earthen Ring, and we've joined up with AIM to misbehave. So that's been fun.
That's WoW calling you.
Where
on
are
my
you?
phone.
That's your guild. Like, get in game. You are supposed to be here.
We have to roll on loot.
I'm still leveling, so I'm not doing much. So
Cool. I don't know what to say to that.
Is it still WoW?
it's still WoW. It's just kind of a filler for me.
You know what I heard? Someone on CoTCast was talking about, and I had no idea. Remember in Wrath of the Lich King when they introduced that open RVR like type area in WoW? That whole zone that was geared towards just skirmish, and this is back like I think before Warhammer launched it, they announced it, and everyone was like, "Oh, here's WoW, take an RVR and put it in." Did you guys remember that?
I remember that, but I had never played it.
Well, he was telling me. No, it was Kine. Kine was telling me. Who's when COT and now COTNS. He was telling me that they started it off and it was it was an RVR type of area. But because of the way the WoW engine was built, the lag was just horrible, way worse than Warhammer ever is. And they had to put a cap on it of 100 people. Something like that. And I'm sure someone will correct me. Some WoW nerds will email.
Oh, I saw a blog about that.
You are wrong.
No,
You are wrong, sir.
I saw a blog about that today, and I think they capped it even more. I was
I thought I read somewhere that they were still having problems with the 100.
And he was like, what blog was that? It was in my reader today. I don't think it was posted today. And
We probably read the same damn thing. I can't remember what it is
but he
either.
was saying like, it's impossible. Oh, let's pretend EVE Online doesn't exist. Oh wait, let's pretend Ward doesn't exist because they're doing it. It was really funny.
Was it hardcore casual?
I think it was.
I think that might have been
I
it.
think it was hardcore casual.
I think it was in game.
I'll link it in the show notes if I find it.
Yeah. Everybody go to the show notes.
I have. It's
Yeah,
called
'cause people-
Wintergrass, but I've not been there.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Every podcast always says check the show notes. I don't think anyone really does that though, do they?
That's just something we say when we're lazy.
I don't even have show notes. I'll just tell you that right now.
You're gonna go check the show notes. It's gonna be a tumbleweed going.
Yeah, that's all it is.
No one's there.
Animated GIF. Just going.
Actually, I heard Blizzard was working on it by they were just trying to shove money into the servers. Like they were actually just physically putting in money. Just come on.
Oh,
Throwing
let's
credit
laugh
cards.
at their 12 million
I know.
success. Oh, those
Yeah.
fools, those idiots. They
Guys are
don't know
so
what
dumb.
they're doing.
You guys are so dumb.
Stupid Blizzard.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're
yeah.
doing.
You're so dumb. Not like War. And hey, what happened in War in the last couple days?
Well,
Oh boy.
Folks, listen.
that's not nice. There was this interesting bit yesterday that everyone who's on the internet has heard about by now. That let's see, BioWare. I got to get the wording right because they have not merged, and EA Mythic is still independent, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Are
Yeah.
they saying that?
Yeah, they're still saying they're
Well,
independent.
how are they independent when the BioWare executive has taken the place of Mark Jacobs?
Oh yeah, I know. And when EA comes in and makes someone like Mark Jacobs, like the guy who co-created Mythic and pretty much, is synonymous with Mythic, and makes him, well, I don't want to say they made him leave, but he is pursuing other interests all of a sudden.
It's
Fine.
assumed.
Yeah.
Then, how independent are you when they make that change happen,
All right.
But I mean, maybe there's a corporate definition of independent that they're using.
Basically, they're in a different building.
Maybe. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't know, the man got outed. And I read, there's some quotes by, an anonymous Mythic employee out there that saying that, he's been on sabbatical for over a month. And, that's kind of, Ab and I were just talking the other day about how, where's his posts? Like he's
Where's the
always
state
been
of the
so
game?
upfront, about everything. And it's odd for him to be so quiet when, Land of the Dead's coming out. And,
Right.
it's been a little, and just the other day I was just switching over our guild forums to the Multiplaying forums, and I was kind of reorganizing some things, and I ran across the EA, Mythic, is going to now be the MMO team for EA, and I was thinking,
Yeah.
but that was before the whole BioWare thing, and I'm like, oh, well, I wonder how long that's going to last. And boom, like the next day, I was like, whoa, I should have blogged about that. I'm like, how long is this going to last? And then people have been like, oh, you called it.
We even said when we were talking, like, he's probably already fired,
Yeah, I was thinking he's probably, pursuing other interests.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
It-
I mean, given all that crap, I think he helped make the best MMO that's ever been in DAOC out of,
Yeah.
all the MMOs that are out there. It's kind of weird, but
Regardless if you say that WoW is better based on numbers, it's just not the same.
no,
No,
right,
yeah.
right. And
it,
you wonder if WoW did not exist, would War be considered a failure like it might be considered now? It's all...
I don't know if it's considered a failure, but
No,
obviously they're not happy with the numbers.
There's quotes
but
from unnamed Mythic people that say, I know the game's making money,
yeah.
I don't know.
I wouldn't consider it a failure. It's
No,
maybe
if-
not living up to expectations, perhaps.
Right,
Good.
in a,
Good
in a
call.
post-WoW world.
Yeah, if you go with the hypothetical that if WoW wasn't there, War's numbers would have just started slow and continued to rise rather than having all the tourists come over then drop off like they did.
Right,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's it.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Which is
So what do we think? Everyone's wildly speculating. What does this mean now that BioWare is technically in charge for the game?
Well, what are your opinions on BioWare?
Awesome.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, well,
They have not made a bad game yet.
but
they put love into what they do.
they do.
Yes.
I was reading
They're
some
like
blog.
They're
baked
doctors.
cookies.
I didn't understand like the negative press it was getting because BioWare has such a great reputation. And then I read a couple blogs today where people were saying, not so much against BioWare, but just
They're
simply,
afraid.
just simply the fact that there is interference from EA on a corporate level that they're going to mess up BioWare and Mythic.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they're
there was-
intruding.
There was also the same concerns that I remember reading, oh, Mass Effect was great. EA is going to make BioWare pump out a Mass Effect every year, and that didn't happen. I mean,
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2 has come along at a slower pace, and it looks to be way better than the first one. I don't think EA's the evil person here necessarily with BioWare. I don't think they're making BioWare do something they couldn't do. I could see people being concerned, the same people that were concerned that Star Wars Old Republic is now an MMO, that they don't want BioWare to make MMOs. I can totally see that argument because they make some of the best single-player games I've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right. That's the big, I don't know, a question that's been raised by a bunch of blogs out there saying, okay, they're making BioWare the maybe unofficial / official head of their MMO market, yet they have yet to produce an MMO.
Right.
Yeah. Blizzard never made an MMO before either.
That's true.
No, I mean, I guess it's all the faith you have in the company, and
I think it's a great merger because first it gives BioWare the experience, the MMO experience, and it gives Mythic, some, another perspective. I mean, the whole Mark Jacobs leaving aside, just on that basis of the two teams, I don't see how the collaboration could be bad.
Well, hopefully it'll just
I don't think
fix
it's gonna
some
be
of the
bad.
problems.
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a negative at all. I mean, I don't know if it'll be a big positive upswing, but I don't think it'll hurt the game at all.
Well, with the whole, class patch not being able to come out because, they're still working on it, maybe getting some new perspective would be a good thing.
Yeah, add Jedi.
Jedi to
Give us
war.
all lightsabers and Warhammer.
We need the Yoda class for the goblins.
Oh, God, that'd be awesome.
We would have to switch back.
Circle trust.
Bye, Cass.
God, we're such dicks.
Worst.
We're just teases.
This is another reason why we're switching to multiplaying, because we can't run a guild.
No, we all have such ADD that
Oh man, it's awful.
Think of the silver lining in all this, though, is that now we get to hear Paul Barnett yell about Tor.
I like Paul Barnett.
Yeah, and that was interesting. I remember listening to the Giant Bombcast for E3, and they had one of the specials. They had him. They had Carrie on from Mythic, who used to work with the Giant Bomb guys at GameSpot, and was the lead designer in the Atonement Knowledge. And
she was.
during that hour and a half thing, they never referred to themselves as Mythic people. They referred to themselves as EA people. And Paul was the EA MC for EA. He was the EA MC at E3, and he talked in length about how cool it was to introduce the Old Republic trailer and
that would be cool.
Yeah, and he talked about BioWare. He talked about doing internal beta testing for Dragon Age and all that. And I remember I was talking to Zelly then, I wonder if he even works at Mythic anymore. I mean, he obviously works for EA, but and that totally makes sense now looking back.
Has he done any podcasts, like those YouTube videos?
I haven't checked the last two newsletters. I'm a scrub.
I haven't either.
I don't know. But I mean, if that guy is up in the ranks at EA, I think that's only a good thing. I know a lot of people find him annoying, but
I think I like him.
I think he gets into it like he should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
He's not a company. I mean, he's not a businessman. He's a game guy, and
Yeah.
Did you see E3? Some of those people out there, they might be brilliant game designers, but they really shouldn't be introducing things on a stage. Some of them are fine, but some of them have no presence.
Who are you referring to?
I'm just saying some.
Oh.
In case we play their game.
Oh, yeah. In case I play the game, we're like, okay, they're a genius. Shut up.
And he was so cute.
Oh, man. Let's see here. For people listening to the podcast, you might be a little confused about what this means. I think right now, don't worry about unsubscribing or anything. We're still going to do a Multiplaying podcast, and Ab and I are still going to be playing War, and so we'll still be bringing that perspective. It's just that we might, be adding in some other games and stuff they want to start playing. Team
Don't say might. We will.
Okay, we will. They want it. Well, I might.
Hey, you complaining. Keep talking about Peggle.
They're talking. No, I can talk about Peggle.
Man, I shot it at this one peg, and then it hit this other peg, and I was like,
I was like, oh my god.
It's going in the bucket.
It's fever.
It's a fever.
I got Ode to Joy, bitches.
The Die Hard music.
The Die Hard music. When they open the safe, you know.
Every time I hear it, I just gotta yell, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers!"
Yeah.
The quarterback is toast.
I got
That's
in
fine.
trouble for that on Father's Day at my grandma's.
For cussing.
No,
You're cussing at your grandma?
I'm kidding. But
Did you get the soap out after you? Big
But-
bar.
Anyway, to get back to the thing, we're gonna be adding in just basically we're gonna allow ourselves to talk about whatever we're gaming, whatever we want to talk about, and right now we're still gonna host it on the same subscriber stream, so you don't have to do anything. We might change that in the future, but we would let you know, right?
Yeah.
Right. Don't
Yeah,
do
sure.
anything now. Just keep listening.
Yeah, just keep subscribing.
Yeah. And then, if, I don't know. We're not sure if we're going to run it on the same CoTCast thing or if we're going to make a separate multiplaying podcast or if we're, merging them or whatever. I'm probably going to edit all that out.
You keep downloading it, we'll keep making.
There you go. And, and so this week, I had to shut down all of the Circle of Trust stuff, and I was emailing everybody and that I couldn't get a hold of in-game, and game mailing people I didn't have emails for, and, converting the forums over and sending out PMs, and, it was a mess. But I converted
But it
her.
looks good.
It does, and I
The
got it does
forums
look
look
good.
awesome.
Oh yeah, and if you ever wanted to, game with people in Circle of Trust, but you're, on a different server or on a different side and you're not switching, we're gonna be playing like Team Fortress 2, and some people are gonna be playing some Diablo 2 and Guild Wars and Dungeons and Dragons Online's on there, and Battlefield stuff, and I'm not doing all that, but I might play some Team Fortress 2 though. But yeah, we're all like gonna connect in.
You should do Left 4 Dead. That's what you should do.
Can we play Left 4 Dead? Like, is that an online thing?
Yeah.
How does
You
that
can play
work?
4-player co-op, or you can play versus. But yeah.
Okay, do you have to like agree? How do you do that? Do you like agree with your friends to meet up a certain time and then
No,
log in?
you have a friends
jump
list
on the
on
server.
Steam.
Well,
Yeah.
how would I know that they were doing that and not playing like Warhammer and stuff?
Well, you'd have to talk to people.
Exactly. That's what I mean. That's what the forums are there. That's what I'm saying. Like you
Yeah.
kind of like Winnin and Slurm were talking about having like a game night, like saying like Mondays or Team Fortress 2, Tuesdays or Left 4 Dead, or I mean that's not the schedule, but for example.
Yeah, I think you would like Left 4 Dead more than Team Fortress 2.
I don't know. It seems really intense with the zombies and everything.
Yeah, but it's against the computer.
Yeah.
Team Fortress 2, you're gonna get frustrated. I mean, because this is
Hey,
you.
it's basically saying you're gonna get your ass
I
kicked.
know.
Hey, I'm just trying to be cognizant that hasn't played a first-person shooter
Never.
before.
Yeah, played a
Ever.
first-person shooter ever.
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 Yeah, it'd probably be good to get into a co-op one first.
Yeah, and the
Get
AI
the
director,
feel.
the game in Left 4 Dead changes on you. So if you're really sucking, it will be easier on you.
Oh, that's lame.
But if you're kicking ass, just rocking and rolling, it'll throw some shit
Keep
at you.
coming at you, huh?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
COMING. Yeah.
Hot.
I'll do something at you.
They doing something. They doing something.
I don't think we covered what Slurm's been doing. What you been doing?
Yeah, sorry, I had a phone call
That's
right in the
okay.
middle of all that. Sorry about the ringing. What have I been doing other than trying to get the site all purdied up? Been playing a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons Online. I had an extra 10-day friend code, and with the whole thing with it becoming a free to play online, figured I'd check it out again. Only been in it maybe a couple hours, but I'm actually kind of impressed. It's better than I remember it, but I've heard they've made a lot of changes. Other than that, playing some Call of Duty 4 online with my buddy.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah. That's about it. Been rocking that.
Awesome.
There's no PvP in Dungeons and Dragons, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think there is.
It's like all dungeon crawly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of
That's
cool
fun.
because, like, even in the beginning, there was there's actually like puzzles that you have to kind of solve to get through stuff. So it was kind of cool.
I mean, that game's kind of, I've never played it, but I've heard it's designed kind of like Guild Wars, right?
Kinda. I wouldn't
Like-
say that it's that. It's a little bit more involved in Guild Wars, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's all right.
That's all I got.
That's all you got.
Yeah, I have not done much other than that.
Trying to think like if we had anything else to talk about here.
They hit the forum, talked about the site.
Yeah. Talked about the Mark Jacobs thing. That is huge, by the way. But
That
Yeah.
was huge.
There's a lot of people very happy about that.
I can't be happy about a man losing his job. A job in a company he created.
Yeah, that's the sucky part, man.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
and-
sad. I mean,
And
everything.
for better or worse, he loved what he did. You could tell.
Yeah, and that's sad that he
Yeah.
lost it.
But
But
you know, he
same-
got so caustic. You know, even in beta, he would just, I don't know.
Yeah, they have
I wondered if he still loved it or not.
he had some attitude.
You know, he did. He's just like, this is the way it's going to be, so suck it up.
I think his
and
big
people said,
downfall-
"Guess what? No, I'll go play WoW."
I think his big downfall is that he made quite a bit of promises and said a lot of stuff that just didn't come to fruition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope they
And
fix
he didn't
some
have
of the
three
problems.
sides.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true. Yeah.
That's my biggest still peeve with the game.
That's a lot of people's biggest pet peeve.
The 3 sides.
Fucks it up.
Okay, Vent. What would 3 sides do? What is?
I've talked about this before.
Have we done that? I don't know
Yeah.
if I've cut it all out before though.
You probably have. I talk about it every day, and you ignore me. While you're in the shower, I come in and say, and another thing about the 3 sides.
And she says, "You want a threesome? What?
Get out of here, you weirdo!
What'd you say?"
And
What are you
I say
What are you
no.
doing in here? I'm playing Peggle on the toilet.
Trying to get some alone time.
And you
No,
had
I'm
to come
not.
in here and shower, so you got to hear it.
All right, so do you want to? Do we want to just? Did I? I don't know. Did I say it clearly that it's like not? It's just like a change of a vision. We're
Right.
going in a new direction, but it's not a
Yeah.
big deal.
I
You
think
said
so.
it.
Yeah, I
said
think
All
it.
so.
right,
You preached it.
I tried
Well-
to.
That's what we do.
That's it, right?
I think so.
All right. Well, we gotta wrap this up. Thanks for listening to this episode of CoTCast, the companion podcast for Circle of Trust, a Warhammer Online guild that was fighting for order on Phoenix, and before that, destruction on Ostermark. CoTCast is owned and produced at the whim of Circle of Trust Guild members. Sources for the information in CoTCast includes, but is not limited to, in-game occurrences, guild forum postings, guild member opinions, game news found on websites, news sites, fan sites, blogs, other podcasts, various gaming magazines, rumors, lies, and irresponsible speculation, most of which is discussed without permission or notification. The views expressed in this podcast are the personal and official views of the specific COT members in the podcast. Our views should not be misrepresented as the official views of anyone or anything else. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net. You can find the show notes and leave comments at cotcast.podbean.com, or you can write to cotcast at circleoftrust.guild@gmail.com.
So keep you style denied. He squeeze you all the while. Well, baby, I should have said no fault now. Darling, baby, say no fault. Sugar, say no fault of mine.
What's going on, Frank?